So one of the reasons why I do like driving part-time for Uber and Lyft is a lot of times you meet very interesting passengers. Like today, I picked up a woman who happened to be a business owner, and we're both talking about the challenges that technology has, but we got to adapt and we got to use it. Even though it's challenging for us because we're a little bit older, we got to use it. And we were talking, and she wasn't surprised that I knew what I knew as a Uber driver, which a lot of people are. She wasn't surprised because she said people take other people for granted all the time, and she's not judgmental like that, where she doesn't assume they know what they don't know. And we were talking about how people wait till the last minute that have a lot of knowledge, but they have such an employee mindset that they wait till the last minute to act and go start their own business. Like the example I gave her was that I had a software engineer in my car, and they were talking about people getting laid off, and I was like, you're a software engineer. Why are you waiting? Start your own business while you're still working. I wish when I was working somebody told me this. Like years when I was still at Bed Bath & Beyond, I wish somebody would have told me years ago, Will, go start your own business. I started my own business like last minute, right before I quit, which was wrong. I should have done it years before that. But nobody was like me telling me this stuff. You know? I'm like, you're a software engineer. You and two co-workers put your heads together, go build your own business. And this is before the pandemic. So now with the pandemic, after the pandemic, obviously AI came out, and it just made it easier for everybody. But these guys knew how to code, they knew how to do everything back then. And we were both talking about how mind-boggling it is, these people that are smart, but they don't have common sense. Like Elon Musk. He's smart, but he didn't have enough common sense to realize that more Democrats buy EVs than Republicans. I'm sure a lot of you knew this. Republicans aren't into EVs. So therefore, Elon he could have supported Trump without opening his mouth to the public. He should have never gotten into politics, because now what happened, he plummeted his company, and Republicans are pushing to go back to gasoline. They're doing away with the tax benefits for EVs, which is going to hurt Elon. Elon, if you're in business like that, you're a genius now. You should have enough common sense to know I got to shut up when it comes to politics. You can't pick a side, especially go against the side that's buying more EVs than anyone else. It's crazy. You're supposed to be a genius. And now the same genius is battling the president of the United States. The quote unquote richest man, which I don't know why he has that title. I don't believe he's the richest man. He's one of the richest men, but richest man, I don't like that title, is going against the most powerful man in the United States. That's dumb. How are you a genius and you don't understand this stuff? I don't. Somebody hit me in the comments and let me know. And this is really not a political thing. because I'm not trying to pick a side. I'm just trying to think, how are you a genius and you don't have common sense? This is what I mean. Like, smart people sometimes don't have common sense. Software engineers, they could code, they could do all this, they could put together their own software for a service, but they don't have common sense. They have that employee mentality where I just got to stay employee and stay in my lane, wait till I get laid off, then I rush to go do something. I'm glad I got rid of that employee mindset, because even though I still do Uber and Lyft part-time, I shifted my mindset to think like a business owner. Every day, every waking day of my life, I'm thinking business. Every waking day. And no, I'm not always successful. I had a brick and mortar business. It wasn't successful, but I managed to stay in business for 3 years, which was not only longer than my competitor and the person that trained me, but it was longer than a lot of people in that field in Stamford, Connecticut at the time. So I'm always thinking the employee mindset now. Somebody's got one of these alarms that throwing me off, that it makes the noise. It says warning, warning. It says it out loud. But me and this lady had a great conversation. I took her to West Hartford today from New Britain, and we had a great conversation. I don't know if she tipped me yet. I didn't look. But we had a great conversation on how smart, quote unquote, smart people don't always have good common sense. And they don't think, they're stuck in that employee mindset that even though they're in a field where they may make 6 figures a year, they're happy with that and they'll wait to get laid off. Now, she has a business, and she said she struggled during the pandemic, but she shifted and started selling products and services that would work during that time frame because she has common sense, but she's not technical. So we wouldn't be considered smart people. I'm not technical, but I learned AI technology for my YouTube channel, for my titles, but we are not technical. She admitted she has trouble and struggles with even the software in her Samsung phone. And she had to take it down to the phone store and get some things cleared out. But she has enough common sense to know being a business owner is going to get her more success than having an employee mindset. So we're not considered smart people, but we have smart common sense. And that's what you got to have. You got to take that employee mindset and start thinking business. Every single person, I believe, should be trying to set up some type of side hustle, at least at bare minimum a side hustle, a DBA, independent contractor side hustle, and then eventually turn that into a business, because thinking like an employee is never going to be enough. You're never going to get paid enough, regardless who's running the country. You're never going to get paid enough as an employee. I think even if you have a 6-figure paying job, you're not safe, because people in those kind of jobs, they sometimes get laid off first. They're sometimes the first to get laid off. So you gotta start thinking business. What am I gonna do? If you have a regular job, you should be thinking, what side hustle can I do that I can turn into a business later because this job's not paying enough, or if it is paying enough, it's not promised forever. I don't care if you've been there 5 years. I was at Bed Bath & Beyond 10 years, and it just so happens I left before they closed down. I think just like 2 years later, they closed down their entire company. I think Bed Bath & Beyond only has an online presence to this day. I think they shut down everything except their online presence. All the brick and mortar stores closed. And I still didn't switch early enough, because I didn't have somebody like me telling me, Will, start thinking about doing your own thing. I was telling people at the last minute when I was on my way out, I'm trying to do my own thing. I should have been thinking like that 2 years in. So now I'm telling you guys, start thinking with common sense. Jobs ain't forever. I don't even care if you've got a high-paying job. Unless you got something that you have ownership in, like a doctor where you own your own practice, you got to start thinking. Even a doctor that owns his own practice, there's nothing wrong with him doing something, having a little online side hustle too. I'm just saying, think about the future. I don't have all the answers, but think about the future, because at least I have common sense and I don't have an employee mindset. Thank you guys for continued support. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.